up, everybody? It's your boy Nautical back at it with another video. So what did you do when you were a young pup? Out here in these streets, out here in this world, doing the things that you wanted to do that you thought were cool. What was cool to you back then? Well, IGN just polled over 800 Generation Z people, which they consider to be between the age of 13 to 17, and they threw in some millenniums where they consider the age group of being 18 to 24, which was about 800 of those. So we have a nice little sample size survey, nothing too big, so you really can't read anything into these numbers, but I just thought it would have been funny to make a video about. So I'm gonna read the article. It's on IGN. I'll link it down in the description. So this is actually by Evan Campbell, and I'll read from the beginning. The Legend of Zelda, Grand Theft Auto, and Minecraft are among a handful of most popular game franchise for teenagers according to a new study. I like the way they say a new study is 1,200 people, but I digress. It's all part of a Google guide that researched what teens, specifically Generation Z, which includes people born between the mid-90s and the early 2000s, think are cool. But those series aren't alone. When it comes to games, Call of Duty Black Ops, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and Pokemon sit at the top of the youthful demographic. For the purpose of this study, Google classified Generation Z as teenagers between the age of 13 and 17. Now I'm gonna put a picture on the screen right now so we can follow along. This is a chart basically of all the different cool things that teenagers and millennials like to do between those age groups. So, starting with the video games. Generation Z is the most aware generation in recent history, so it's no wonder most teen boys see video games as a cool escape from reality. Video games were on top of the coolness scale for boys. They think video games are cool not only for their storylines, wide variety, and ability to escape to a virtual reality, but also for the ability to connect with friends. I agree, because that's the main reason I stick on Xbox, because the friends, and then the games are really good too. Most popular games: Legend of Zelda, Call of Duty Black Ops, Grand Theft Auto, Pokemon, Minecraft, and CSGO. So talk about that list. Funny thing is, they also talk in this article about how this was taken last year between May and July when Legend of Zelda wasn't even out yet. So kind of funny to think that Legend of Zelda, one of the best games that came out this year, is on top of this list, and it wasn't even released on the Switch yet. The last Zelda game that was really popular, granted there were a bunch of them on the 3DS, were the actual one that the remakes that were on the Wii U, which was Wind Waker. So it's nice to see that people still appreciate Zelda at the top of that list. Call of Duty's not going anywhere. That's one of those games that just sells even when people think it's dead. Grand Theft Auto is one of those once in generational games that always comes out at least once in that generation and just dominates everything around it. Pokemon is Pokemon. Can't wait for a Pokemon to hit the Switch. It will just do gangbusters and Nintendo will just print more money. We come across our first Microsoft game on the list. Funny, no PlayStation games on this list, even though PlayStation does have some really good games. But the fact that Minecraft made it on this list lets you know how strong of an IP that is. And CSGO, definitely for the competitive scene on PC, that's a really, really compelling game. And it did make it to console on 360 at 1.2. Media entertainment. Real-time media is a must. Streaming video and music brands are at the top of the list for Generation Z, who expect avidly consume on-demand information and entertainment. Top 4 coolest streaming media platforms: YouTube, Netflix, Spotify, and Hulu. So I'm glad to see YouTube's at the very top of that list because, it just benefits all of us on YouTube. Netflix, definitely can see that. Spotify, really, really good. Hulu, take it or leave it, but it still should be up there at the top of that list. What's funny is, with kids loving video games so much, I'm surprised Twitch isn't up there. Now, I do see how YouTube does get the bulk share of just video content when people want to just see something about a game, but you would think Twitch would be up there just for the simple fact that it allows you to watch somebody play the game right then and there and experience it in the moment versus having to experience it in past tense. But Not gonna be mad that YouTube's at the top, because that helps all of us on YouTube making these videos, because as long as there's young people out there watching them, we always got somebody to give a video to. Sports and outdoor activities. Team sports are the coolest and most common way for Gen Z to connect in IRL, which is in real life if you didn't know, and serves as an antidote to tech overkills. Teen love sports for their teamwork, competitiveness, and relaxing outlet they provide. Football and basketball are the most watched sports by teens, but soccer, basketball, and running track are the most played sports. So let's break that down. Football is definitely the most popular sport in America or the United States, but it's one of the hardest to get into. You can't just throw a shirt and shorts on and go play football. You need equipment to do it. It's not something you can just go to the park and just say, hey, let's go play football. You can do flag football, but that's not really considered the football that they're talking about in this article. Basketball, on the other hand, yes, anybody can play basketball. Throw some shorts on, throw a t-shirt on, and go run up and down a court or play half court and throw a ball through a hoop as much as you can. Track and field, same thing. Put a shirt on, throw some shorts on, learn how to play the game, but it's something you can do literally in your backyard. You can literally kick a ball through a small spot on your backyard just so you can act like you're shooting goals. And soccer, same thing, practicing with the ball. There's a lot of things that you can do by yourself with these other sports, like refining your dribble in basketball, learning how to, kick the ball in soccer, learning how to get your pace down when you're running track, and just technique and everything. But football, yes, you can throw a football, but football, it literally comes at a cost where you just have to have the money to get into it, because it's not the cheapest thing to do. So I definitely agree that basketball and running track are probably the most important things and probably the most popular things when it comes to people playing. Now, food and drink is funny, because what teenager didn't like food and drink? When I was young, our metabolisms were super fast and we could eat and drink anything we wanted to, and it doesn't matter what generation you're in, that's always going to be the case. But just for some context, Generation Z may be the most involved generation, but they're simply pimply teenagers with cravings. According to teens, pizzas, Oreos, chips, and ice cream are cool. Teens love junk food and get almost 17% of their calories from fast food. That's more than likely a fact. Definitely a fact. Reading and knowledge. You do you. There are no errors amongst Gen Zs. Reading is right up there with video games as the coolest activity. Teens love learning and knowing. So let's talk about that. I don't know too many teens that really like to read. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying that there are some smart little whips out there that can just read a cover story from front to back. But most of the kids that I know get all their knowledge from YouTube and watching people play games. They get the understanding of what they're trying to figure out by just watching other people do it. So yes, I do agree with the knowledge side, because they do crave knowledge. Every little kid that I know wants to be better at what they're doing, and in order to do that, you need to go out there and learn the knowledge. But reading it, nah, they don't even like doing homework. So why would you think they're gonna go out and actually read something that's gonna give them the knowledge to actually learn it? Now, I will give you one caveat. If it's something to do with a game that they super love and they super enjoy, they will force themselves to read some stuff. Let's think about Destiny. If you wanted to know about the story in Destiny, the only way you were gonna find out about it is reading it in the Grimoire, which was something you had to what? Read. It wasn't read to you. It wasn't even shown in the screen and talked about in the game. But if you knew about the Grimoire in Destiny, chances are you either went to a My Name Is By video or Sir Wallen's video to actually find it out. Because like I said, kids don't want to read, but they'll definitely watch a video if they could get the same information. But I'm sticking to that one. It's kind of crazy, but hey, it is what it is. Go out there and read though. It does make you a better human being later on in life. So the last thing I want to talk about is basically what this article was named after is Generation Z believes that the Xbox brand is the coolest brand out there. That isn't to be mistaken for the millennials, because millennials are between the age of 18 to 24, which are the ones that can go out and spend their own money. And that might be part of the reason why the PlayStation 4 is destroying the Xbox One in sales. But Those are millennials. Those are the ones between 18 to 24, and they prefer the PlayStation platform. But guess what? 13 to 17, Generation Z, coming up fast and hard. There's going to be more of those out there in the world because every day somebody having the kids, and that just means that there's going to be more people out there championing Xbox later on in life. Let's do a really good job with these guys. Let's make sure that we let them know exactly what it's like to be an Xbox fan, but not to have to be a fanboy. So you could be an Xbox fan, but not be a complete fanboy of Xbox. You know, don't champion a system just because you like it. Champion a system because that system is something that you enjoy, and you enjoy the things it gives to you. And always call that platform out if they do some stupid things. That's why I always talk about the crazy E3 they had in 2013, because Microsoft did all types of wrong back then, but you know what? Ever since then, they've been on the up and up, and you can't really say nothing bad about Microsoft, and that's the one thing as an Xbox fan that I'm proud of. So guys, what do you think? Do you think that Microsoft is the most preferred platform amongst Generation Z? Let's talk about it in the comment section. Plus, when you were a youngster, what was your favorite, coolest thing to do? Let's talk about that in the comment section. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Make sure you guys have a great week, and make sure you like this video if you liked it, sub to the channel if you haven't, and I will talk to you in the next video. Peace.